My name is Marnie Wooldridge, and I'm the director and writer of the upcoming episode that we're so excited for you to see. It is called Think Truth Today. It's a cast full of young adults and adults that are excited to press forward this message of abstinence. And we are raising the standard, and hopefully we'll reach hundreds and thousands of people stating that you too can abstain. We're going to give you tools, knowledge, and insight that you don't have to follow what media is saying, what music is saying, and maybe even what your neighbor next door is saying or doing. I live in Camden. I have an undergraduate degree in theater with the emphasis of strength training. I have my master's from Texas Women's University in dance with the emphasis of strength training as well. I've been writing plays off and on for years. I dance with a company in Houston, Texas called His Company International, and my heart is to use the arts, acting, singing, dancing, to bring forth positive messages that will make a change, not go against or not go with the regular flow of society, but to make a rebellious change in the positive realm. So we're excited about what's going to happen. We hope that you will tune in and learn and grow and see each series as we continue on. Thank you.
As life continues, so do different wars. Some of our biggest battles have derived from religion, government, sex, and sexuality. We have national wars, governmental wars, policy wars, election wars over each country, to each state, to each city. Each war becomes more hostile with these same topics. Battles have been here since before creation.
Today, one of our biggest battles that come to us in several different forms is sex. Sex is necessary for creation to continue. Sex was meant for the good of humanity, but just like anything else, it has its own precinct. Once this precinct or boundary is crossed, many end up overdosing. Without following the correct course of action, some fall into imprisonment and others receive the death penalty.
Traditionally, in early American history, the home was the place where discussion of sex took place. And even then, the conversation tended to be minimal, usually a mix of practical, physiology, and moral instruction, grounded in religious standards. Today, in the 21st century, the actual discussion of sex is in the school system. Homerooms to the dining room table or TV is openly conversed without remaining in the appropriate precinct.
The respect for what sex was meant to be for has been destroyed. Now we are reaping the penalty of broken boundaries, redefined sexual intent, early sexual freedom, which is now an oxymoron.
We are sorry for over 100 years of breaking down morality in this country we call free.
We are sorry we no longer work together to make sure you are safe and protected from harm.
Thank you, that was so nice. Oh, hello, I'm Justice. Sorry, it's just that doesn't happen often.
And I'm Prophet.
Excuse me one moment. I honestly believe that what you just did is like a lost art or a lost act of chivalry that truly needs to be recaptured.
What?
See, you're so used to it, you don't even know the good you did. And sometimes that's how it is with the bad that we do as well. We're here at Impact today to look at what we do and what we don't do and the difference that it makes. We're here to look at how our actions impact our society. So as a primary example, what you just did, the good you did and how it made me feel, how it made me smile.
What did I do?
You pulled out my chair. It may seem like nothing today, and to many women it makes them feel uncomfortable, but it goes back to what I said. It's like it's a lost art or a lost act of chivalry. You know know what? I'm so sorry. I hear it. Wow. Goodness, we already got a text. Okay. Okay, this young lady is saying that to her, it's like the man thinks that she's weak or not capable. You know, and it's just the opposite. You meant it as an act of kindness.
Oh, to me, it's an opportunity where I can serve you. We both know that you're a very capable and successful woman, but it actually boosts my morale as a man to be able to help. For those of y'all who don't know, this is Justice. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about her. She's a speaker and leader on the subject of sexual risk avoidance in Think Truth Today. She's one of the words out there in the streets, businesses, schools, and anyone else will have her to be able to discuss sexual risk avoidance.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to this. The prophet, he helps us keep it real. Basically, from the streets, from the jails, but he helps us to bring in from the shadows and from what's behind the scenes. So I'm glad you're here today. It's an awesome thing to have him with us. He had an encounter that radically changed his life.
Well, I'm glad to be a part and hopes to help as many individuals as possible.
It's gonna happen.
It's
all right.
I had an opportunity and it changed me. So I hope this opportunity I can give this opportunity and it helps as many people as possible.
Yes.
Hundreds, maybe even thousands.
Yes.
Everyone, please take the time and text in your thoughts and visit our website, www.thinktruthtoday.com.
So let me explain to y'all that don't know about the texting. We're asking all to text in their thoughts and their comments to 803-420-7578. But keep it clean. So we, Impact, are here to take a warrior stance, y'all, on to sex or not to sex. When is it safe to have sex? When is it not safe to be sexually active? We're here to take a warrior stance to really talk about the power of healthy choices. Healthy choices today. Whether we make a healthy choice or not, it determines your today, it affects your tomorrow, it determines what's going on for the rest of your life.
Justice, I'm here for many parents to question, how did we get here? When did something that was supposed to be good and shared between a husband and wife become a subject turned into leading the national conversation?
I hear you.
It just doesn't make sense.
It's been a battle for years, and it's basically an attack on the family, on society at large, on the church. It's been a battle for so long, and once boundaries and healthy guidelines are removed, the inevitable is the opposite will happen.
I believe everyone here would agree that the family, in general, is the best place for children to grow into maturity.
Yeah.
The social science behind this, about the benefits of the family for child development, it's outstanding. It's remarkable. It's everywhere.
Wow. I think it's so much to think about.
But it reaches across everything. It's across the board. It touches to us racially.
Mm-hmm.
It goes across religiously.
Yes.
It goes across
Yeah.
ethnically and any other thing you can think about.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. In order to empower our youth, in order to empower them, it is essential that the government does whatever it can in its power and in its means to protect and to strengthen the family as an institution, y'all. It's been empirically shown that it's the most nurturing, safest place for our children.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of children, let's invite our panel of youth in. Abram, Pepe, and Samuel.
Yes.
We have asked several individuals here to come and share their thoughts today. This is Abram. He's about to graduate from school. and has had to jump over many hurdles.
Greetings. Right now, my motto is we can only do what we're taught.
And this is Pepe, our tech computer whiz. He researches the facts, he gets it all for us, and that's what he does. You know, during our last meeting, he was unexpectedly distracted by a lovely young lady.
Oh, yeah.
I had to, for the first time, really use the word restraint.
Oh, yeah. Good old Peppy, for the first time, actually had to control himself with limits.
Well, at our last gathering, we met a young man at Williams Barbershop in Canada, Samuel. Samuel spoke with great insight, so we invited him here today. Glad you could be back.
Yeah. All right. Well, we also have some of our parents too. As stated in Prophet's intro, it's the parenting where it should start and then filter down. And so whatever the parents let in the house or don't let in the house, that's the major thing that affects our youth. That's what they're going to receive. So we hope to take you on a journey from before the sexual revolution to now. So our first guest is one many of you have already met, and is Grace. Grace is the mother of Peppy. Hi, Peppy.
Our primary goal is to make a difference for the good, to rebel against what the large portion of society thinks is normal, but in actuality, degrades the value of our society.
So Grace, as a mom, as one who works closely with the youth, what do you think influences our children the most?
Well, I think there are two major influences in our youth today. Social media and peer pressure. Social media plays a big part in the communication process.
Okay, so we all know that change is good. We all know it's necessary for growth. But would you say there are changes that have occurred in our society and in social media that have been detrimental?
Technology. Technology is fabulous and has brought us a long way since the 60s.
Okay.
Now, you walk into a room and just about everyone has some type of electronic device in hand, which breaks down the communication process in our youth today. We don't have face-to-face contact. There's less face-to-face communication. And, you know,
I agree. I know some parents who cook, text, and clean and try to communicate with their parents. I mean, their children.
point well taken.
I always say, we always do what we see and what we're taught. Yep.
This is also true. Times and situations change, but the foundation and rock of a family was proven solid and more healthier before the sexual revolution. Now, I'm not blinded or denying the fact that there were problems there too, but violence was a lot less in schools and in society as a whole when prayer was allowed. Divorce was not that easy, and life, even at conception, was relevant. So Justice, yes, I'd say we've come a long way for the detriment of society.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grace. With this, I'd like to invite our first guest, Dr. Elizabeth, who was raised during the 40s and became a teenager in 1957. This is a time when the family was taught in the home by parents, grandparents, and with the support from community and church. Let's welcome Dr. Elizabeth.
pleasure to be here.
Dr. Elizabeth, we see over the years how our value system has changed. But how do you see that what we used to value is so far from what we place our value on now?
Well, in my day, our value system was based on biblical and spiritual principles.
Biblical standards. Please tell me more. This is always interesting.
Well, our government, our family, and the education was based on the Ten Commandments, which Allah is taught.
Honor. That's a word lost in today's society, along with chivalry.
Yeah. Yes, but all things that are buried can be revived and watered and grow into maturity. I agree.
Well, in my era, things were not perfect, and some things did need to be changed. We would have never discussed this publicly then. But for starters, girl menses was never talked about or discussed until she was glad.
Menses? What is that?
A girl cycle.
Wait, a bicycle, tricycle?
Well, April, actually, it's a girl's period.
Oh.
In other words, blood and other matters was discharged from the body when she bled. So it's called menstruation. So I recall one time in middle school, listen, a fellow student went into the bathroom, and as girls do, we go together. Suddenly we heard this shriek as if someone was literally dying.
Whoa, was there a murder in there or something?
I doubt
Well-
that, but I'm a bit curious now too.
Yeah, well, my classmate saw blood coming out of her body, and she thought she was literally dying to death.
Wow.
But that's something that could have easily been taught in the home.
Dr. Elizabeth, please, educate us on some of the differences from your era to now.
Well, sex was not taught in school. And this is something, again, that could have easily been taught at home in the family. So girls and young girls and boys really were not taught. So it was very much frowned upon.
I understand that. I know if I had been taught better or educated better, I wouldn't have had sex. I would have valued it more. I know I would have. So in your teenage days, how was sexual activity looked upon?
Well, actually, it was really frowned upon. And the girl was ostracized. She was isolated. She brought shame to her family and to the family's name.
I remember hearing the names people were called.
Yes, she was even called a slut or vulgar.
Oh, you mean like a thought? Like a thought?
Hey, doesn't it mean that
Yeah.
over there?
And she would never show cleavage.
It's almost nothing for people to show cleavage nowadays.
Wow. So, Grace, would you agree that more and more of our young girls are being viewed as sex objects?
You know, Justice, unfortunately, girls today view their beauty as how sexy they present themselves.
Yeah. It's true.
I personally believe this is because magazines, movies, and TV that paints a picture of all girls have to be super sexy to be appealing.
Let's be careful to put blame. Males are included in this.
Stage, man. Stage.
Well, you both are correct. Unfortunately, young people continue to put their confidence in the wrong places. Another difference, another large difference, in fact, is modesty. And modesty in my day was a virtue. And the quality really is to avoid sexual displays.
Now, I remember that virtue. It was one of the first words we talked about in the setup. And that was at Everyday Gourmet and Dusty Band. And it basically meant voluntary obedience to truth.
You know, truth has been false since the beginning of time. It's been skewed and twisted over the years. Samuel said a couple weeks back that truth, what do you say, man? Truth doesn't change.
Yep. Whether you believe it or not, it is constant, and we all have a choice to believe it or not. But the outcome of the truth is still the same.
Yeah, man, that really spoke to me, man. And that's why we were inviting him back.
For him to be so young, you're very wise with much truth in your words. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Should we move on? What you think?
Yeah, I think so. If we can, let's come back to the topic of modesty after we bring out our next guest, Mason. Mason has definitely been faced with many difficult choices in life. He is one of the leaders with impact, and because of his past, decided to make a warrior stance for truth. He has made the choice to walk in virtue and purity, and hopes to help all he comes in contact with. Everybody, let's welcome Mason.
I am happy to be a guest. It has been a while since I have not been the interviewer.
You've been working with many inner city youth over the past few years. Can you tell us about your outreach? What about your past journey inspired you to get to this point?
More and more with government policy, new laws for school, TV, and music, I was seeing the vast distance from what we were founded on to where we are now. For example, as a young man, he may like dogs. So instead of having someone guide him through those thoughts and help him into manhood, it is decided that he must have more female traits. So, hey, Ms. Grace, I didn't see you down there. How are you? That could get off track. Just because a girl is a tomboy or a male may have a few female traits doesn't mean we as parents stop raising them up in the way they should go.
Or alternating their anatomy.
Wow. It's real. We have like government and other factors just lead us astray.
Mason, I heard you say at one of our last meetings that in your era, there were many challenges growing up.
Yes, there were. Well, probably, let me clear something up. I was born and raised in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I was exposed to an environment that made me think the issues I faced only occurred as a black man. But that was all I saw and heard, so that was all I knew.
That proves my point that we always do what we see and what we're taught. So if we aren't taught to make a better choice, how can we possibly make one?
April, you are correct. But there comes a time in a man's life when we must search out truth. And each of us know deep down inside when something is wrong. Age, growth, maturity help me see the issues of sex and the degrading of bodies crosses all borders, all colors, and all genders.
So if we don't pay attention to truth, it's like our conscience becomes hardened to what's right or to even what's healthy.
And our brain becomes pruned and distorted and reshaped.
Dr. Elizabeth, you're right. Which what started to occur in me, you know, being raised with a single parent, two older siblings, finances was hard, temptation was stronger, was strong, and then having a reading problem actually led me to being bullied.
Wow, you had a lot of odds against you.
You know, I tell you, Pepe, the world became my role model. And because I wanted to fit in, I was trying to fit in. At that time, I still didn't know who Mason was.
Wow, so with all that going on, I guarantee you ain't have to worry about pressure with girls or sex.
Well, April, to have sex at an early age was popular among friends. So I thought the more sex, the more popular I'll be.
Thank you so much, y'all, for coming. Thank you so much. And we just want to end this episode with our special guest, Mr. Joshua Danello.
So this is personal. It's real for me. A still story of ill glory where cards seem to deal poorly. Because 3 months ago was my wedding day. And I got to look at my wife-to-be and tell her that she wasn't worth the wait. And it hurt me. Because it shows she wasn't worthy of waiting. And sometimes I think maybe this all would have been different if I had been taught healthy dating. And I'm just saying, it's hard to stay pure when you're living in hell. Where the media uses sex to sell us, no wonder that's where our thoughts dwell. Because everywhere I look, I see naked bodies. Fake hotties photoshopped to make us hate our bodies. Unrealistic standards higher than the ceilings, plastered over magazine covers with zero regard for our feelings.